Hey guys, Daniel here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going through an update on Voyager stock. Now if you don't know what Voyager is, I really recommend you watch my previous video that I uploaded yesterday. It's a full analysis on Voyager, what it is, what they do, why I think it's a really interesting opportunity over the next 5 years here as the crypto market continues to grow and expand. Now in this video I'm going to be covering a few things. One, today's price action. It was nuts. The stock price was down 25% at one point. I'm going to give the reasoning behind that because it didn't just happen out of the blue. I'm also going to give one really bullish catalyst that the stock has over the next year here that I didn't mention in my previous video. This makes me really bullish on the stock price over the long term, and it really makes me want to add more. I'm also going to go through what trades I made today because I did make a few in regards to Voyager, and make sure to stick around till the end where I reiterate some 1-year revenue predictions as well as some long-term revenue predictions and long-term price targets for the stock. So in terms of what happened today, Voyager, at the end of the day, it finished at down 7.5%. You see that, okay, it's down, right? But then you look at the bottom here and it traded at $4.80 at one point. This thing was down over 25% at one point during the trading day. And this didn't just happen out of the blue. It happened because they had finished closing their equity offering of $46 million. Voyager is pleased to announce that it has completed its previously announced private placement of common shares, raising gross proceeds of $46 million US at a price of $5.50 per common share. Now this is very important. What the stock price did today is just correct down to that $5.50 that the offering was done at. So I thought this was a great buying opportunity. I actually added to my position today. I increased it by around 10%. I think what you got to do with a lot of these really volatile stocks, especially like Voyager here, is you got to buy on the bloody red days. And we've had 2 of those in a row. I think yesterday the stock was down like 5-8%. Today, at one point, it was down 20%. I used that opportunity in the morning to buy more. And it's really important not to panic sell, especially with these volatile stocks. When you have conviction, instead of, we've all had this where a stock goes down and your finger's hovering over that sell button. Instead of hitting the sell button, just buy a little more. Even if it's just like 10, 20 bucks, you got to get into that mindset of not selling your shares at the bottom, instead picking a little more up. Because it's always bad psychology to sell at the bottom. If it's a justified reason, if something's changed with the business, go ahead. But if it's a price action that, resulted from the closing of a $46 million offering, which in my opinion benefited the business and the stock much more than the stock price shows. I mean, with $46 million, they can expedite all future product launches, and that removes a lot of risk with possible bankruptcy, because now you've got a company with $46 million on the balance sheet, and with obviously a lot of buyers that are willing to buy their stock. This offering of shares was originally at around $20 million, but there was so much demand that it increased to $46 million, right? So there's a lot of demand for Voyager shares, and I really think this is a very underappreciated stock, especially where it's at right now at a $630 million market cap. We're going to go through why in a second here. So this is one of the reasons why I'm so incredibly bullish on Voyager over the next year, 2 years, and even over the next 5 years. Here we have a picture of analyst expectations, and we can see here that analysts expect Voyager to do $20.4 million in revenue in 2021. Now, when I saw this, I just laughed. It just makes absolutely no sense. I have a statement that Voyager made a few days ago, and this is going to kind of show you guys why I'm so excited about this. Voyager is experiencing significant growth in 2021, and we look forward to what does that say there? Yeah, presenting on the exciting growth metrics achieved in 2021 to date, including our assets under management crossing the $500 million threshold, exceeding $1 billion of trading volume on our platform, with over half coming in January, and net daily deposits onto our platform exceeding $6 million per day in January of 2021. With daily trades in January 2021 exceeding 3x the December average, we expect to exceed $5 million of revenue for the month of January of 2021. During 2021, Voyager intends to enter new markets and will bring new financial products to our user-friendly platform and our growing loyal community. Voyager is becoming the agency broker of choice for digital assets. Now, this statement was huge, absolutely huge, and I really think it was underappreciated by the stock. They essentially said that in January of 2021, in 1 month, they're expecting to do $5 million of revenue. Now, if we go back here, we can see that analysts expect Voyager to do $20 million in all of 2021. And Voyager is going to do $5 million in revenue in the sole month of January. So, let's just look at this. In the full year of 2021, analysts are expecting $20.4 million of revenue. Voyager's revenue in January is $5 million, which means a yearly revenue run rate of $60 million per year. Now, management, a couple days ago, they were on a conference. I listened in, and they said that they expect revenues to 3 to 4x revenues and assets under management. They're directly correlated. The CEO has said that to find out what revenue Voyager will be doing, you essentially take 10% of their assets under management, and then that's the yearly revenue. So, management says assets under management and thus revenue will 3 to 4x in 2021. So if we use that metric, we kind of get a sense of what management is expecting Voyager to do in 2021, and that comes out to around $100 to $150 million of revenue in 2021. Analysts are expecting $20.4 million in revenue. That's 5 to 7x what analysts are expecting. I mean, analysts have looked out as far as 2022. And even in 2022, they're expecting $53 million in revenue. In this year alone, they're going to do over $100 million. And then that's the conservative side. They could very well do $150 million this year. This is why I'm so bullish on Voyager over the next year here. Because if this is true, Voyager is going to have possible 600 to 700% revenue beats consistently quarter over quarter. I've heard a lot of talk about how this stock is underappreciated, and I agree with it. I think this is one of the ways that Voyager is going to get its name out, and one of the things that's going to get Voyager noticed. You don't just glance at a 600% revenue beat and just look away. These revenue beats, if they end up happening, all I gotta say is you gotta expect attention to come to Voyager, because that is what's going to happen. If analysts are expecting $20 million in revenue and they come out with $150 million in revenue, you best believe the stock's going to get some attention. And it's trading at a $600 million market cap right now. So that's a 4 price to sales for this year's revenue. That's quite cheap. And that also eliminates a lot of risk. The fact that this stock is trading at a 4x price to sales of 2021's revenue, I mean, how much cheaper can the stock get? And again, use this opportunity or use this as a gift to buy more shares of this stock. I absolutely love Voyager, and this is one of the reasons why I love it so much. It's such an underappreciated stock. Now, in terms of what I expect Voyager to do over the long term, so over the next 5 years here, 4 or 5 years, the management expects Voyager to have $20 billion in assets under management by 2025. And I think this is very likely, given the fact that they went from 5 million to 500 million in assets under management in a year. So given that, I think that they could very well, 40x their assets under management over the next 4 years here. We kind of have a plan on how they plan to do that. Funded accounts grow 90% per year from 40,000 to 1 million in 2025. I think as the word about this platform spreads, and the fact that they have such a better platform than Coinbase, which is kind of the leader in this space now, it almost doesn't make sense. Coinbase has huge fees whenever you want to buy any crypto, and they also don't offer interest on the coins that you hold. And especially if Voyager gets into the stock market and starts offering stocks on top of crypto, they could very well get 1 million accounts. They could very well get more than 1 million accounts. They also expect average account size to increase 35% on account compounded annual growth rate to around $20,000 per account by 2025, and that's how you get that $20 billion in assets under management. I think this is very realistic and honestly might be conservative given the fact that they're growing so quickly. And, they've just started and they're already at a $60 million revenue yearly run rate. Just absolutely incredible. So now using this number, we can get around $2 billion in annual revenue by 2025. This is a $600 million stock. The market cap, rather, is $600 million. We're expecting around $2 billion in revenue by 2025. So given that, I've made two projections here. One's more bullish, one's a little bearish. Assuming that Voyager only gets $10 billion in assets under management, which is half of management's expectations, they'd have $1 billion in revenue and at a 10 price to sales, which is cheap compared to what experts are saying Coinbase is going to be trading at. This is an $88 stock 4 years from now. Keep in mind, this is a $5 stock here today. That's the bearish case. Assuming that they hit management's target of $20 billion in assets under management, you can expect $2 billion in revenue, and at that same price to sales multiple, which is, again, cheap compared to Coinbase, you can expect a $20 billion market cap, which would mean a share price of around $176. I know this might be hard to believe, but if you run these numbers and really kind of think about where this platform can be a few years from now, they seem pretty realistic. And this is one of the reasons as to why I'm so bullish on this stock. In terms of what I'm doing, as I mentioned previously, I bought a bit more shares of Voyager this morning. Keep in mind, this isn't like an Apple or an Amazon or a Tesla. If I had to rank it out of a 1 out of 10, 1 being low risk like Apple, Amazon, Google, 10 being high risk like QuantumScape, Gevo, and Nikola, I'd put this around a 6, just given the fact you could even take it to a 5. They have a great product. It's very profitable. Their business is growing. And the risk-reward ratio on this stock, given the fact that it's so low and has so much potential, is absolutely huge. It's a great management team. I think they're going to be able to guide Voyager to do incredible things going forwards. And again, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. This is probably going to be the last Voyager update unless some news comes out. I'm going to start focusing a little more on some safer stocks, but this is a really great crypto play. I was looking into some crypto plays and I really think this is the best one out of the bunch, best risk reward. You've got a lot of these crypto stocks that when crypto or Bitcoin drops 10%, they drop 10-15% with it. Voyager, on the other hand, the CEO has stated this, that when Bitcoin falls, they benefit from that, since more money is deposited into accounts to buy that Bitcoin, and there's also more trading volume, which is what they benefit from. So when you see the stock price go down, when Bitcoin goes down, that makes no sense. There should be no correlation. In my opinion, that's a great buying opportunity. Because when Bitcoin's down, those are some of the best trading days for Voyager. And essentially should mean that the stock price actually goes up instead of down. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop rambling here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate this. If you could drop a like, I'd really appreciate that. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or any opinions on Voyager, make sure to drop a comment in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.